So a lot of us forget that as we're going through different phases of detox, there are things that should happen. And when you're detoxing, like if you think about, this is going to be a little bit extreme, but I really want you to consider this. If you've ever seen someone detox from alcohol or from drugs, there are things that happen, right? So those things that typically happen are that the person gets kind of shaky, they have like cold sweats, they have nausea and vomiting, there's usually diarrhea, those kinds of things. So if you think about all of the stuff that you ate between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then January 1st, you started a detox, and you haven't had any of those symptoms, do you think you're really detoxing? So this is a question that comes up a lot because people will say, well, I did this cleanse and I didn't feel any different while I was on the cleanse, and I didn't feel any different after the cleanse. And I still had my sugar craving. I still had my caffeine craving. I still had this, I still had that. But I was eating healthier, but nothing changed. I still felt the same in my workouts. I still felt the same in my everyday routine. I still needed a cup of coffee in the morning. I still needed a sugar fix in the afternoon. Those things didn't change. Well, what if that's because you didn't actually detox? What if you simply went through the motions of eating a little bit healthier and getting your body in the habit of eating more vegetables and fruits, even if it was only a couple of servings? So there are a lot of different products out there that promise to help you detox. And I think just about every company has one, but you have to have one that really does a couple of things. Excuse me, I'm going to take a quick sip of my decaffeinated coffee. So the first thing you have to do anytime you start a detox is you have to be able to go to the bathroom. So this isn't a conversation most people want to hear, but you have to be able to have a few bowel movements a day. If you don't, it doesn't matter what you do to clean out your blood. It gets stuck in the GI tract and then just gets recycled over and over and over again. And so that toxicity level just continues to build in your system until you can literally get it out of your body. Well, how do you get it out of your body? The number one way is by having a bowel movement. The second way, you'll get rid of some of it in your sweat, and you'll get rid of some of it as you breathe. But the primary way is to get rid of it through bowel movement and urination. And one of the things I see a lot is that people don't drink enough water. So you're not giving your body what it needs to have a regular bowel movement, and you're not giving it what it needs to be able to flush out whatever toxins you're trying to flush out and pull out of the bloodstream. So the number one thing I tell people is the solution to pollution is dilution. And when you think about pollution, pollution can come from anywhere. It can come from your skin lotion. It can come from your makeup. It can come from hair products. It can come from nail polish and nail things that you do. It can come from the air quality being poor. It can come from your food. So fruits and vegetables, particularly if you don't wash them, can carry a lot of bacteria on them. And that all goes into your system. And all those pesticides also go into your system, and your body has to try and process them. If you don't give it enough water, it can't dilute them. So what it chooses to do instead is store them in the fat if it can't get rid of them. Primary system for detoxification for most products is the liver. But the liver's detoxification pathways, there's two of them, it can get backed up really easily. And so you need to support the liver while you're detoxing. And how do you do that? There's a couple of different ways. One way is to drink water with lemon in it. And when I say lemon, I mean lots of lemon. So you have a couple of options. You can use 2 to 3 drops of a lemon essential oil that's a very pure grade in your water every cup of water that you drink. So that, like, if you're drinking a 12-ounce glass of water, 3 drops of lemon, or about the equivalent of half a lemon squeezed into that glass, that 12-ounce glass, can help with detoxification. Is it 100%? No. Are you still going to need something else? Absolutely. The other thing you need to do is increase your fiber intake, but it has to be the right kind of fiber so that your body can bind that fiber and help bind the toxins and get stuff out. So the type of fiber that I typically recommend, yes, you need fruits and vegetables, and you should be getting 15 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. But the number one type of fiber I also recommend is to use psyllium husk powder, and you can put it in something. You can like put it in a protein shake, something like that. But if you can take a half a tablespoon in water and just drink it, that would be the best way. And you need to do that with every meal that you're eating. And that includes if you're eating a snack, you need to do that as well, because any of those toxins that you're trying to detox, you've got to find a way to pull out. Supporting supplement wise, there are a couple of supplements that help process or help boost the processing of toxins in the liver. And we can talk about that if you want to instant message me or DM me. I'm happy to start that conversation offline with you. And then there are some other products that you can use for detox that can go topically on the skin. Now, again, if your liver is overwhelmed, while the skin will absorb stuff, it's going to be harder for your liver to use it if it's already overwhelmed. So when you're thinking about products that you want to use, of course, if you're doing a detox or cleanse, everything that touches you should be completely organic. So whether you're taking it in through your mouth or through your skin, it should be completely organic when you're doing a cleanse. If it's not, what's the point? And I don't say that to be rude. I don't say that to be exclusionary. I say that because it's super, super important. If it's not organic, you're feeding the system more toxins and you can't detox, which means that that process that you're trying to clear out so that you can lose that last 10 pounds, so that you can get rid of your sugar habit, so that you can get rid of your caffeine habit, so that you can feel more awake in the afternoon, so that you can get out of bed easier, so that you can complete a workout, aren't going to happen if you're not eating organic. And there's a food list, and you can look it up. It's online, called the Dirty Dozen. The Dirty Dozen are the foods that you should always, even after your cleanse, eat organic. The other thing I'll say is the ones that you're not eating organic. So like lemons aren't on that list. I would encourage you to eat organic, non-GMO while you're doing a cleanse, but afterwards you could go back to your non-organic lemons, but you have to wash the peel off with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, if not 40 seconds, to get all of the wax and the pesticides off of that peel, so that when you cut into it, you don't use the knife to drag whatever's on the outside of that into the flesh of the fruit. Because if you do, again, what's the point? Same thing with any of your citrus, watermelons, anything that has a rind, actually. So any of the melons that you can wash off that rind, because otherwise, again, you're just putting all of that back into your stem. And same thing is true with like zucchini. If you're someone who peels your zucchini, the second you peel the first layer, the next spot you touch, you contaminate. So consider that when you're doing a cleanse, a detox, and eating further. Now, zucchini is one because the skin absorbs everything just like your body does. And typically we eat the skin. This zucchini is one, any kind of squash product is one where you should be eating organic. But that's just an example. Same thing with potatoes. And the bad thing about some of these is that particularly when they grow underground, like potatoes grow underground, so you don't know what they're exposed to under the ground. Yeah, we might not be spraying pesticides all over the flowering part of the potato, but who knows what's in the groundwater? I don't know, and you don't know. And I use raised organic beds, and mine are like truly self-sustaining. I bought, they're called horse troughs from a tack and feed store, and filled them with organic compost. And then I have a composting bin that I make more compost every year. So I know everything that goes into that. The only thing I'm not sure about because you do have to put some paper products into the compost, is what's in the paper and how it was processed, and what did the paper touch. So I still have to be careful, even though I'm not spraying pesticides on the top of my plants, with what I'm eating and how much of it I'm eating compared to what I'm eating that I know is not tainted. The other thing is you don't know, I live in Colorado, so if you don't live in Colorado, this may not apply to you, but a couple years ago, we had some rain during the summer that fell and left this red stain on all the cars, and it was dust from the Sahara. That's in Africa. So we're getting dust from Africa in the rain falling in Colorado. What that should tell you is, again, just because it says it's organic, if the farmer next door uses pesticides, your crops are probably slightly tainted. And that's not to say that the organic farmer isn't trying. It's just that you can't control where rain falls. And so they may be getting inadvertently some pesticides on the product. So again, that's a toxin that your body has to process out. And the more toxins you already have there, the harder that process becomes. Now, a ton of things can change how your body processes this stuff over time. The number one thing is your gut health. So if you are doing a detox and you are not having a few bowel movements a day, you're not detoxing, your gut isn't repairing, and you're not absorbing what you need to out of it. There are a couple of different options again for you, and I'm happy to talk offline about that. And I would love to be able to help you get through a detox fully, because it is interesting to see what happens when you actually detox fully. And I can tell you for sure that even for some people, just cutting out something like cold turkey, cutting out sugar. My husband, he doesn't drink coffee, but he is addicted to caffeine. He used to have a few sodas a day, and about 15 years ago, we got him down to one soda a day, which a lot of people drink a cup of coffee. And I can tell you by the numbers at Starbucks, most of those people aren't drinking black coffee. So the toxins that are in their coffee, with all the stuff that they're putting into it, coffee's not bad for you. It's all the junk we're putting into our coffee. So getting him off of sugar, not the caffeine, the sugar. He went through a full detox. He spent at about 17 hours after he hadn't had sugar at all. He got a headache, and about 36 hours in, he was shaking. He had cold sweats. He was nauseous. He had diarrhea, and that lasted for about 2 days while his body detoxed from sugar. And that was just sugar. He was drinking a Coke Zero because I didn't think he could do sugar and caffeine at the same time. So we got him a week past the sugar and took away the caffeine, and he did the same thing again. So his body was truly detoxing from that. Getting the gut balance right is imperative for hormone health, because your gut, if you can't absorb the nutrients you need in the gut because it's so backed up with other junk and you can't clean out, then you will never absorb the nutrients needed to support hormone production. Hormone production is dependent on vitamins, it's dependent on minerals, it's dependent on fats. And if you're not absorbing them the right way, it doesn't matter what you do, your hormones will be out of balance and you will require hormone supplementation, and your body will forget how to produce those hormones on its own. So one of the things that I like to talk about is truly being able to have multiple bowel movements a day, but also that process of detoxing. So for most people, if you're having a hormone issue, if you're feeling chronically tired after being up for a few hours, like you need a nap, you need to do a full detox, and we should talk, like no joke. If you feel like you can't wake up in the morning without caffeine, you need to do a full detox. There are some products that can help you in that process. So doTERRA just put out a line of protein powders and fibers to do their reset. And then they also encourage that you use their PB Assist, which is a probiotic, and a product called Zindecrine. And they have it in a capsule. So it's a vegetarian capsule, and you break it apart and it's got a powder inside. And then they also have the Zindecrine capsules that are a soft capsule that look, this is Serenity. It is not the Zindecrine, but they look kind of like this. They're about this size. And you can take those, and then you have to take psyllium husk powder afterwards in order to bind toxins. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a doTERRA rep. I won't use their protein. I won't use it because they high temperature process it, and that's bad for you because your body doesn't recognize the protein. There are some other protein products out there that I will use, and I'm happy to have that conversation with you as well. But doTERRA's is not, it's not high quality enough for me. The Zindecrine product I love. I use it a lot, and I really like it. And then they have another product called Digestin that helps with a lot of upset stomach issues that can come up when you're doing a detox. And this has anise, peppermint, ginger, caraway, coriander, tarragon, and fennel in it. And all of those things can help with helping you digest better and also settling an upset stomach. So it's a great product to use if you are doing a detox and having some issues. This product can help a ton. If you are looking for that, really, I've never done a cleanse, I've never done a detox, and I'm interested in doing one, but I need to go slow because I can't, if I'm going to be nauseous, that kind of stuff, I can't do it. My body will not tolerate it, and I don't have time for that because I'm a busy mom. Let's talk about that too, because there's a new product that I'm going to start using next week, actually. And that is going to be like a 10-month process of detoxification. And then I'll follow that up every month with doing a short 5-day detox around the full moon. So I'm happy to talk to you about detox because if you've set some goals this year for yourself, for fitness, for weight loss, for hormone support, your first step is getting the gut back in balance. If you can't get your gut in balance, you can't get it done. Chat with me online, offline, put some comments in. We can DM each other. You're also welcome to email me at drmarci@agilityphysio.com. I hope you guys are having a fabulous Saturday, and I will apologize for the kiddos in the background, but that's life these days, right? Have a great Saturday.